Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to take a walk around the garden here, and we're going to take a look at plants that are still blooming pretty well as we move into fall, and some of the plants that are about to bloom. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is a mistake I made. All right, so this mistake I made is not this plant. It's beautiful. It's a gorgeous sunflower that's blooming like crazy, but actually there's two of them here. But I planted it in kind of a bad place because back here I have a hot lip salvia that usually is blooming pretty well this time of the year. But it's, and by the way, this is a zone 7 plant, but it did make it through the winter. We're zone 6B here. But yeah, so anyway, what I decided to do today was I did cut back a lot of this, and haven't cleaned it up yet, still on the ground. But hopefully this will let more sunlight into that salvia, and then it'll bloom a little bit nicer. All right, over here we got a few things that are still blooming all right. We have some ECHIBECKIA that we just planted. Of course, it's going to still be blooming, but it still looks like it's going to go for a while here. Down on the bottom here, I do have a RUDBECKIA that is planted, and hopefully that'll catch. As you can see by these, they're starting to die out a bit, but they bloomed for the longest time. As we move back here, there's some dahlias here, and this one is the Bishop of York dahlia, and you could see all the blooms. This one has a long way to go. It's looking pretty good. Lots of blooms ahead. And in front of it, we have another one. I think this is a cactus dahlia, and you can see that this one has a lot of buds on it now too. Both of these were transplanted, and I think that's why they're still blooming so well so late, because they're kind of late starters. So one of the things we're going to do coming up is my wife and I are going to plant these yucca plants. They're sitting here on our fire pit in the back, but the problem is that over here we have some snapdragons that are in the place where they're going to be. We're going to put the yucca plants here and over by that other one. But these seem to be blooming and blooming and blooming, and so those yuccas are going to have to wait. This area of our yard really is starting to look like fall, if you ask me. I mean, take a look at these guys. They're doing their fall bow. They did wonderfully. I'm sure that the birds are going to be on these soon. So we'll leave them there. And as you look towards the front here, we have our red hot pokers. And there's still a couple here that are doing pretty well. But for the most part, they're going to seed. And I think that could be the end of these guys. So everybody take a bow. Fall is coming soon. Over in this little section of our yard, it's actually one of my favorite areas from last year during fall. We still have a Russian sage that's blooming pretty well here. And what I want you to see here is our little patch of mums that we've got growing here. Down here you can see this mum is already budded up and ready to go. And as you move towards the back, we have some mums that are taller. And this guy over here is really going to be tall and look wonderful, and I can't wait to show you guys those in a few weeks from now. So this is our beast of a hibiscus plant that was moved. It was up in the front of the house a little bit last year, but we moved it back, and it did bloom well. It still has some buds on it. You can see here it's still going to have some nice color and some nice buds, but for the most part, it's done. The foliage is still really nice, but you know, as you could see, this one right here, as it opens up, it's a beautiful dinner plate. Looks wonderful. So we've got a tall phlox here that is blooming, and this is its second flush. We'll probably try cutting it back again and see if it blooms again. really nice, the tall phlox this year. And as you can see here, we have some gorgeous mums getting ready to bloom. This is one of our raised beds here, and it's going to look really nice and colorful here, I believe. Our butterfly bush has been doing wonderfully this year. Lots of flowers on it, and it also needs to be cut back a little bit, but you can see that there are still a ton of little flowers that are going to be on this, and it should be blooming for quite a while. You may have seen our last video where I was talking about how we put in our rising sun redbud tree and moved our bird bath. Down here, this is an annual around here, but my gosh, is this celosia looking nice. This bumblebee on it is very happy. And as you move around, this white salvia has been blooming for months and months and months, and I can't speak highly enough about the perennial of a white salvia. I like it a lot. Back here we have a coreopsis, which is just as wonderful, if you ask me. This has been blooming for a long time, and coreopsis is a great plant to have. And of course, stick some coleus in your yard and add some color. It looks great. When we take a look at our little triangle garden we have here, you can see that our asters are starting to bloom. Very nice. I'm not a big fan of asters in the sense that they don't seem to bloom so long for us. Hopefully this year they'll bloom longer than they have been. Hidden back here we have another perennial. It's a little dwarf veronica on both corners, and they're still popping out some pink. And this annual here is a nasturtium. It's an annual, and hopefully it'll keep blooming for a while. Near our arbor, towards the bottom, we have some gaillardia, and we have a coneflower that is blooming still and doing well, and the bees are still loving it. And we have gaillardia on both sides, actually. The other side is not quite as established, but they did come back nicely this year, and they've been blooming for months as well. Okay, folks, thanks a lot for tuning in and watching. And I need to get out of this backyard because the yellow finches want to get on these sunflowers. So once again, thank you for tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.